And we're back. For those of you just joining us, welcome to The Power Is Now, Business Planning for Real Estate Agents 2023. The third quarter, folks, is just about wrapped up. In fact, if you're watching this after the fact, you're in the second quarter, folks. Second quarter. Can you believe it? Can you believe how quickly this year is going by? Have you achieved your goals? If not, why not? What is it you need to change? What can you do differently? Are you getting up early enough? Are you staying late enough? Is there balance in your life? You know, these are some of the questions I have for our special guest, author and teacher, Emerick Peace. He is talking about business planning for 2023 for real estate agents. And man, it has been inspirational, educational, everything else. I'm running out of adjectives to describe how impactful this series has been for me. And if it's been impactful for you as well, please reach out to Emerick Peace. Let him know. Drop him an email, a DM, let him know. And if you're looking to work for Emerick Peace, he's hiring. He's got 600 agents, wants to get to 700. He's in Prince George, Maryland, a superstar in the Keller Williams franchise. And so I highly recommend you give him a call. Now, Emerick, we ended with you dropping some serious gems, man. And I tell you, they're worth repeating. You know, if you're the top dog, the view never changes. And if you are in second place, that just means you're the first place loser. And what a mindset to have when it comes to just showing up every day, being all about it, right? Being ready to go get it. And so you get up in the morning and your mind is right? You're dressed to the nines, you're ready to go. You step into the office. What should be on your mind, Emerick? What should you be thinking about? What is the first thing you ought to be thinking about?
Your schedule. Your schedule. What does your day look like? And how is your day ordered? Because if for some reason you put the first things last, the first things typically never happen. Keep for first things first. Keep the main thing the main thing. So when you're looking at your schedule, you're looking at your day, what's the main thing for the day? Keep the main thing the main thing. That's what I can say, Eric, all day long. What's your schedule? Keep the main thing the main thing. Focus on the main thing. And make sure the main thing is going to be something that either generates income, creates new income, or grows your income.
So creates new income, generate new income,
or grow existing income.
Or grow existing income. Now, I've heard, Emerick, many people, coaches and what have you, talk about time management and blocking time. And many believe that 70% of your time needs to be focused in that category you just laid out for us, in creating income, generating income, or maintaining your income.
Well, you know, here's the thing: they say 70, but however, really, you can look it up. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your 20% of your activity produces 80% of your results. And so when you're having that conversation, right, your real question is that, are you spending enough time on the activities that are gonna be income producing? Because at the end of the day, you're in business, and the only reason why you're in business is for a profit. And your main activities, keeping the main thing, should be activities that focus on keeping your business profitable. Because as a real estate agent, what we don't really understand, a lot of times we don't pay attention to, is that real estate is a business. And in a business, you're generating profit. And if you're not profitable, you just have an expensive hobby at some point.
Real estate is a business.
Yes.
And I think that many people lose sight of that. Many real estate professionals lose sight of that. Perhaps it's because real estate wasn't their first choice. It was their fallback plan. They say, oh, I can do that kind of thing. No one would say, oh, I can own a McDonald's franchise, right? You don't just fall back into a McDonald's franchise. First, you have to have a couple million in the bank and all kinds of things going on, a business plan, what have you. You got to get probably an SBA loan, all kinds of things you got to do. Or, you know, no one falls back into, you know, being a professional athlete, right? I mean, it probably was instilled in them as a child, and they went through all the various trials and junior and Olympics and everything else, and now they're
Right.
professional athletes. So real estate, though, there seems to be a lot of real estate agents out there. Of the 1.1 or 2 million that are members of NAR,
It's the
that
closer to 3 or 4, 1.3 or 4.
1.3 to 4 million real estate agents out
Somewhere
there.
between 1.3 and 1.4 million.
And it seems like the average production of an agent really kind of supports this idea that it's a fallback plan for most, as it is for the few. The 80-20 rule is probably alive and well in regard to that 1.3 to 1.4 million.
Well, when you talk about the 80-20 rule, first thing is Pareto principle. It's proven that if you look at any industry, there 20% of the people make 80% of the money. 20% of the activities produces 80% of the results. And so you said something a minute ago in addition that you say, well, this becomes a fallback plan. Is that not what you said?
Yes, yes.
Well,
It's a fallback plan.
I disagree with you. You know why?
Mm.
Because most people in real estate don't even have a plan. So, so it's just a fallback. It's not even a plan. Your fallback plan would assume that somebody planned around falling back and they have some idea of what they're doing and where they're going. And the reality is that most real estate agents don't have a plan. So it can't be a fallback plan. It's just a fallback idea.
Wow. Man, that's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. If it's real, ask in your interviews. I want you to start asking real estate agents, do they have a business plan, or do they have a plan around their business, a written plan around their business? That's a conversation that we have to have. And I'm so glad that you're conducting this session, because this is about a business plan. And we're addressing a void in our industry. And I absolutely love it.
There's a recent statistic from NAR that shows that the average real estate agent closes about 6 to 8 transactions a year. And there's no way you can make a full-time living on that kind unless you're selling, $10 million houses, right? And who's doing that? There are deals like that out there. But 6 to 8 transactions a year is the average. And so what does that say?
It says that there are a lot of people not making money, Eric. Let's be real. Once I was doing a survey, kind of sort of a study, and I was in Southern California, and I looked at the number of real estate agents in Southern California, and I want to say it was upwards of like 25 or 30,000 real estate agents. And then I looked at the number of real estate agents that were doing more than 20 transactions. And out of those 25, 30,000 agents, the number dropped to less than 4,000 or 5,000. It was closer to around 900 out of that many agents. I thought that was eye-opening. And when I say Southern California, I was all the way over to Riverside, from Riverside to the ocean.
That's amazing. Well, there are, and folks, you can Google this. It's online. Just what is the average salary of a real estate agent, and you might be surprised. Which may be the reason why most parents don't want their kids to become a real estate agent, right? They want them to become doctors, lawyers, teachers, or something like that. And in some cases, the income of those professions aren't that much greater than what the average real estate agent is making. And of course, if they are better than average, then they're in the 70s to $100,000 a year. And as a salary, that's not a bad income working a job, but as a business, that's still not what they should be doing, right? I mean, what should the goal be for a real estate agent who is running their business, who is managing a business?
Well, that's a lot of gray area, Eric, because, success, everybody defines success differently. However, we have to acknowledge, are we talking before tax income or after tax income? That's huge, because if it's 70,000 before taxes and then you bring out 28%, and and then you bring out your state tax, that you can have $80,000, and that $80,000 can end up meaning you're making $45,000. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it depends on what your lifestyle is. In my opinion, if you had to ask me, no one should be, if in this industry, your bare minimum should be $100,000 before taxes.
Right.
Before taxes. Now that assumes that you're willing to do the work. And one of the things that we talked about this a little earlier, one of the issues with real estate agents is that they believe that they can market their way into success. Now, you hear what I said? They believe that they can market their way into success. So what are they doing? They're buying a bunch of ads. They're paying for flyers and door hangers. And they're paying for all types of marketing material. They're doing all kinds of Facebook ads, TikTok, Instagram. They're doing all of they're creating all these ads, and there's some, in a lot of cases, spending money on ads, and the ads end up being useless because we're talking about marketing, right? Marketing is a passive event, Eric. If you're in business, you have to be actively engaged in your business. And we stroke our ego with the marketing because our face is on the marketing. And we get disillusioned by people who say, oh, I saw your ad. Oh, that's a beautiful ad. Oh, I heard your quote on Facebook. That was beautiful. You know, at the end of the day, Eric, and I had to learn this the hard way. People can talk about your advertising. They can talk about your marketing. They can talk about all of these different mediums that you're promoting yourself, where you're promoting yourself. The reality is that if none of those medium make the phone ring, it's a waste of money. Because what's your return on investment? And so that's the reason why, you know, I've learned from some folks that you have to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. What that really means is that most of your time is spent prospecting and not marketing, because prospecting is an active event. Business is active, right?
Wow.
So prospecting is an active firsthand event. Marketing is third party, right? That's the first part. And the second part, it does not require your engagement. And it's actually passive because you're waiting for someone to call you from your marketing. The reality is, if you're really going to grow a big business, you have to call people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me see if I can unpack that a little further for you, because man, you've said a lot there. First of all, I love when you say that marketing enhances your prospecting. That's what you're saying, because if you're meeting out there, if you're actually engaging people, you're talking to people, you're face to face, belly to belly,
Right.
engaged, working your network, working your past clients, engaging people in a meaningful, substantive way. Any marketing you have done will support that. They'll recognize you, or they'll say, oh yeah, you're that guy. Oh yeah, I watched you, or I saw you. And
Yeah.
actually, I draw even a bigger difference between marketing and branding,
Mhm.
because marketing is saying, hey, here I am, come and see me, use me, you know, I'm your guy. Hello, hello, this is me. I sell real estate. Whereas branding, though, is you being an educator and a thought leader, teaching something that would result in a phone call, or someone saying, wow, I didn't know that. I'm going to call this guy. Oh, wow, look at what he's talking about in this market. I'm going to call this guy. Oh man, that was educational, informational. He's going to be my resource. I'm going to call this guy.
Let's
And
go.
then when they happen to meet you, it's
Right.
the ball game is over now, because you've established your brand as an expert, and then they see you face to face, and that just solidifies it.
And that's where the magic happens, Eric. The magic happens not when they pick up the phone to call you, when you pick up the phone to call them. The magic does not happen because they picked up the phone to call you. The magic does not happen until you pick up the phone to call them. Because, right, when you pick up the phone to call them, that puts you in a prospecting mode, number one. When you pick up the phone to call them, that makes them important. The person who calls you is never the important person. The person who you call is the important person.
Man, I love that. The person who calls you
is not the important person. The person who you called is the important person, because when they pick up the phone, they feel special and honored that you called them. Think about that for a second. Oh, why are you calling me? I'm calling you because I was thinking about you. Oh my gracious, I feel so good. You ever call a relative and they didn't expect your call and they pick up the phone and how happy they are to speak to you? So the magic happens when you call people, not when they call you.
Wow, I love that. This is really then truly a people business, right? I mean, you can't succeed just relying on the phone to ring, people calling you, although there will be a time after you have established yourself and your brand in the marketplace where people are going to be calling you. But if you are not there yet, you have to be building relationships and engaging people and calling them. And you're bringing that point home today. And that is still is, you have to pick up the phone, right? And I asked you earlier on, what is the first thing you should be thinking about? You mentioned, know your schedule, plan out your day. How much of your time should be spent on engaging people, picking up the phone and generating business?
Theoretically, 2 hours a day. And so theoretically 2 hours a day. And here's the thing, Eric, when you're calling people, and you said something, and I want to add to that. It doesn't matter how long you've been in this business. If you are waiting for people to call you, then you're allowing other people to dictate your success. When you're proactive and you're engaged in your business and you're prospecting, then you're determining what your success is going to be. Your success in real estate is directly proportioned by the number of people, when they think of real estate, they think of you. And if you're not reminding them that you're in real estate on a regular and consistent basis, then you become out of sight, out of mind. And the best way to remind them that you're in real estate is through a phone call. Because as I said earlier, right, the magic happens when you pick up the phone and call someone else. How many times do people really call you and say, hey, Eric, I have a lead for you. Hey, Eric, my cousin wants to buy a house. Hey, Eric, my cousin's uncle's sister wants to get a loan or wants to buy a house. Now, let's flip that around. What if you call 10 people and say, hey, Eric, hey, this is Emerick. I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about you because we had a phenomenal transaction last year. How's your house going? You're going to say, great. Eric, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about your house. And what I really want to do is I want to be able to offer that same service to your friends, your family, and everybody that you know. So, Eric, who do you know who's looking to buy a good piece of real estate in the next 30 days?
I love that, Emerick. In fact, so you've just clarified even further here, this idea of prospecting, picking up the phone and making phone calls. Because I know there are a lot of people thinking, man, I don't want to be doing cold calls. I don't want to be dialing for dollars. I don't want to do that, right?
Right.
You're not talking about that. You're talking about your sphere of influence, people
Absolutely.
you know, past customers, friends, relatives, business associates, teachers, friends, neighbors, people you know.
So here's the number on that, Eric. If you're looking for people who you don't know, and there we call it your have not met database, you're cold calling. You have to call 50 people in order to get one really good lead. This statistics come from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So you have to, the ratio is 50-1. If you call in people who know, like, and trust you, the ratio drops from 50-1 to 12-1. So would you rather call 12 people? Or would you rather call 50 people? then call the, if you want the 12 people, call the people that you know, like, and that know, like, and love you, or know, like, and trust you. Call the people who are already in your database, who you already have a relationship with.
That makes so much sense. And folks, if you haven't read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, in fact, you referred now to 2 books. First of all, The One Thing by Gary Keller. I love that book. I listen to it all the time when I'm working out.
Okay.
And The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, another incredible book, and which lays out all those details. Folks, if you haven't read it, go get it. Am I right, Emerick?
You're absolutely right. I'm gonna give you one more, Eric. It's not enough. It's not a book. It is a number, right? Remember, I said you should make, as a real estate professional, you should be looking to make at least $100,000 a year, bare minimum, right? So the question becomes, how do you do that? Well, you have to have a database. You have to have a database that has people's name, phone number, physical address, and email address. At least those 5 things. Here's the deal, Eric. Statistics show, studies show that if you have 201 people in your database, wrap your brain in 201, and you communicate with those people on a regular, consistent basis, you should be able to earn at least $119,000, $120,000 a year through business in it from the people in that database and referrals. So think about it, 201 people in your database. That's not a lot of people.
Absolutely right. I mean, that would be easy for anyone, even new in the business.
Absolutely.
To come up with 200 people. I mean, if if you have 20 family members and each one of them gave you 10 people, that's 200, right?
It's simple. And that's the thing about this, what I said earlier about this being a business, Eric. We don't treat it like it's a business, right? And anytime there's business, there's a science behind any business. The challenge is that we're not being taught the science behind business because we're too busy looking for the flash. We're too busy looking for the secret pill. We're too busy looking for what's the magic moment. There is no magic moment. The magic moment happens every day between 9 and 11 in the morning. You know what happens between 9 and 11 in the morning, Eric? It's called lead generation. It's called lead generation. It's called picking up the phone and calling your database. You know, and the unfortunate part about this real estate being a business is that for those who are full-time, when they had a job, they would go at 8 o'clock and work for Mr. Charlie from 8 to 5 and give Mr. Charlie all of their time and all their devotion and all their energy. And then they become a real estate agent and have a real estate business, and they won't even spend 2 hours of dedicating their time, energy, and effort to lead generating to have an infinite earning potential, Eric. Infinite. Just think about it. Real estate is the only business where you don't have to have an inventory, you don't have to have a personal inventory, your cash outlay is low, and you have the possibility of infinite income. You just have to be consistent with your activities. And notice I said consistent. I didn't say call on Monday, Wednesday, and maybe on Thursday. Consistent. Call Monday through Friday. You went to work for Mr. Charlie for 8 hours Monday through Friday. How about you go to work for yourself Monday through Friday and just commit 2 hours a day to lead generation? Nobody said it was going to be fun. Nobody said it was going to be easy. We just want to make it profitable.
Right. Wow, man, you have definitely pulled up in somebody's driveway right now. I'm telling you, you have pulled up in somebody's driveway. And how do you know Mr. Charlie? How do you know the name of their boss?
No, I'm trying to tell you, and we all know Mr. Charlie. Most of us worked for Mr. Charlie, you know?
Right, right. I mean, Mr. Charlie don't play either. You better show up on time and don't try to leave early, right?
Mr. Charlie, look, and so here's the question. Mr. Charlie would fire you, Eric. Now, if most of us had to look at our real estate businesses and ask, will we hire ourselves? The answer would be no. Matter of fact, most of us, if we had to be accountable in our real estate businesses, we would fire ourselves. I shouldn't have said that. That was a little too blunt and brutal, Eric. But that's real. It's real. It's real. And the only way we're going to go to the next level is if we have real conversations about real activities, about our real business.
Emerick, I think that it was a little tough to take, but I think it's needed. It's called love, right?
Absolutely. It's hard
And
and it's fair, Eric. It's hard and
that's
it's fair.
right. That's right. It is. So you have identified a couple important things here. One, the time period, 9 to 11, every day, 2 hours a day is when you should be calling your sphere of influence, touching base, asking them about themselves, what's going on, answering questions. When I think about that, Emerick, there's so much to talk about. I mean, everything is happening. It's in the news, from the weather to the Fed to the markets to sales activity reports to interest rates. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So it can't be that you don't have anything to talk about if you're not making those phone calls. So, right, it has to be that you truly dedicate from 9 to 11 in the morning every single day, and you call your sphere of influence. And part of that conversation here is that if they're not ready to do something, you're also asking, right, for the business. Do you know someone else? Do you have any family members or friends that might be thinking about buying or selling a home? Right?
And that's it, and you have to take the attitude, friends don't let friends buy a house from anybody except me. That's your mom. And then some people are going to say, well, everybody's at work between 9 and 11. Statistics show that you get the same answer rate from 9 to 11, from 12 to 2, from 4 to 6. Now, if you're that committed to not calling at 9 to 11, okay, well then take your time. Call from 5 to 6. Call from 5 to 7. Right? Call from 6 to 8. But however, the reason why they say 9 to 11, because that's when you have the most energy. That's when your circadian rhythm is the best for being productive for most people. And so at the end of the day, 2 hours of lead generation. You don't want to do 9 to 11? Pick another 2 hours. Be consistent about it. Be consistent about it. I can't say that enough. Get your 2 hours of lead generation in every day and watch your income change. Watch your income grow.
And you're not counting emails, right? Because you call, if you don't get them on the phone, you drop them an email, right?
Well, it's really calling. However, you're following up with email because, again, you're prospecting. You're actively engaged in your business. If they don't pick up, send them an email. Hey, I was reaching out to you, checking up on you to see how you were doing. Just shoot me a quick email back to let me know how you're doing. Now, when they do that, you can look at the time when they send the email. That's probably a good time to call them. So if you leave a message for them at 9:30 in the morning, they send you an email at 3:30 in the afternoon. 3:30 might be a good time for them.
Emerick, this is really good stuff here, man. I mean, that is just another kind of secret, if you will, folks, to just getting in touch with your clients. So you call them, you get them on the phone, great. You don't, drop an email, they respond to that email, note the time. That's when you start calling that particular person. And if 9 to 11 doesn't work, then try, 3 to 5 or 5 to 7. And I agree with you. I get up early in the morning and I start to lose my energy, if you will, around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, man. And then if I have a heavy lunch, forget about it. I want to go to sleep. So end up drinking an extra cup or two of coffee just
Right.
to be alert. And so I totally get that 9 to 11. And that's an interesting fact about, when people are going to be picking up the phone, and today, perhaps more than ever, with everybody working from home,
Yes.
people are probably picking up their phone more than ever now between that 9 to 11 o'clock range. Now, Emerick, this leads us to another topic here because there are agents who are killing it. I mean,
Right.
they are backed up, man, with appointments, listings. There are agents right now. If you're listening to me or watching, There are agents right now with 100 listings, with 50, with 25, with 10. Right now, this very minute, they haven't had a problem getting listings. There are agents with more buyers than they can handle. And so they have a team of buyers agents helping them with their buyers. What is the difference between the agents who are just killing it, man? I know you're going to say the 80-20 rule, but if you can go a little deeper here, what's the difference between those agents and agents who are constantly whining and complaining that they have no business, no listings, no buyers, nothing going on?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here's the secret. You watching this? Watch me carefully. Have money, have no money. Have money, have no money. Have money, have no money. You know what that is? When you picking up the phone, you're going to have money in business. When you don't pick up the phone, you're not going to have money in business. The issue is that the people who don't have any money, who don't have any clients, they don't have any money, they don't have any business, they're not picking up the phone, Eric. You get it? Have money, have no money. Have money. As long as you're picking up the phone, you'll always have money.
There's just no excuses for not picking up the phone. In fact, that is their. Wait a
minute. You paid your phone bill, didn't you? You have contacts in your phone, don't you? You paid your phone bill. You have contacts in your phone. It's not a money issue because the contacts are already in your phone. You don't have to pay money for that. You already paid the cell phone bill, so you already have that. So money is not the issue. The only issue is you allocating the time to call those people and look for money. And not, I should say look for money, let's look for business. However, the biggest thing that keeps us out of that category, the people who don't have customers and clients, is their pride a lot of times, Eric. Their pride. They're too prideful to pick up the phone and call the people in their database to say, hey, I'm looking for business. It's like that old crazy thing where people say, you don't do business, you don't mix business and friendships. Who says that? Yeah, there's only a certain demographic of people who say that, and I'm not even going to get into that. Because other demographics of people, their whole business is made up of their friends, their family, and everybody they know. It's one demographic of people that say, I don't do business with friends and family. And that's why you broke. Because your friends and your family know, like, love you, and trust you. So why wouldn't they do business with you? They don't do business with you because you don't call them. What's this, Eric? What does this mean? Eric.
Pick up the phone. Money. That's what that means.
Have money.
Have money.
No money. Have money. Have no money.
Have money. Have no money. Have money. Have no money. My goodness. I mean, that is the truth. That is the truth. And you know, when you hear the truth, it's like a sword, right? It cuts, man. It hurts. When you hear the truth, somebody's listening right now, watching into this, and they know what you're saying is truth, and they don't like it, man. They're probably angry hearing you say that because you are eliminating all the excuses, all the excuses. You don't have any buyers. You don't have any listings because you're not picking up the phone. End the story, drop the mic, end the call, end the show, wrap it up, roll commercial. You don't have any listings. You don't have any buyers because you're not picking up the phone.
There we go. And we've been spoiled, Eric. Let me tell you, we've been spoiled because the last 3 or 4 years, you could put something on Facebook and people would call you and, oh, I'm thinking about it. You could put something on Instagram. Ask anyone who was a social media marketer in real estate. Facebook leads have dried up to some degree with those same ads, and so have Instagram. They've dried up to some degree with those same ads. You have to reinvent yourself. And then part of reinventing yourself, you got to do one thing. You know what that is? Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
I knew that was coming. Emerick, this has been great, man. And man, I could go on, but I want to wrap this up with a couple very important topics here that
Okay.
go with everything you're saying. And the first being that, okay, so I got to pick up the phone. I got to call between 9 and 11, 2 hours a day. Do it when I have the energy, not when I'm sluggish and tired, right?
Right.
And I gotta be intentional about it. I can't have fear. I gotta think. I have the mindset that my friends, my neighbors, people who know me, love me, trust me, are going to want to do business from me. So I'm either going to end that phone call with a buyer, with a seller, or with a referral to a buyer or a seller. I'm not going to leave that phone call empty-handed. Not
Okay.
going to happen. So I'm not going to make excuses. I got to pick up the phone because the only reason why I don't have a buyer, I don't have a seller is because I'm not picking up the phone. So
Correct.
we've made that painfully clear now. So Emerick, what are some I would say ideal marketing activities outside of picking up the phone you could do to build brand awareness, so that when you do pick up the phone or you meet someone, or you have some strategies. What are some strategies that would make it easier for you to close that business deal?
Okay. So here we go, Eric. You already, if you already have a book of business, how about you do a client appreciation event? Everyone loves recognition. You recognize the people who you've done business with in the past. It gives you a way of reconnecting with them, and it gives you a way of forming a deeper bond with them. So client appreciation, that's one. The other one is that get engaged in some type of civic or social activity with a group of people who have something in common with you, right? And the beautiful part about that is that it makes it easier for them to to build a relationship with you because you already have something in common. And so again, civic and social with a group of people who you already have something in common with. The other thing, Eric, is, and this is not dead, if you talk to any major producing group, they will tell you open houses are still a great source of people. Now, the thing is, you have to do what's called the 7th level open house. You have to have a planned open house. And in the 7th level open house, you start marketing for that Saturday open house on Monday. You're sending postcards out to the neighbors. You're sending invites out to the neighbors. You're making follow-up calls to the neighbors. You're marketing it through your local MLS or whatever high level of touch realtor-facing activity, because you're driving people. It's just different. And again, that open house is not just an open house; it is a marketing event to everyone who lives within a mile of that property. So again, that requires engagement. And so if you can take those three things right there, a client-facing event, i.e. a client appreciation, get involved with a civil social activity with people who you have things in common with, open houses, and do a 7th level open house. And you can Google 7th level open house. It will tell you all the things that you have to do. Those are 3 great mechanisms to drive business to you, Eric.
Emerick, that is so rich. Thank you so much for just breaking it down. I mean, the way you have laid things out for us today, there really isn't an excuse for not making at least 100K as a real estate agent. You got to pick up the phone, and then you have this database. We all have a warm market of people that know us, like us, and trust us. We have past clients if you're in the business already, or if you're just getting started, you have your warm market of friends and family. And
Right.
then for those who've been in the game for a while and they keep bumping that ceiling, they can't even get past 50 or 100 or 150 or 200. Uh, this is something that they can do that could truly, grow their business rather quickly. The Client Appreciation Day is a great opportunity to get additional referrals from your past customers and to make them part of your marketing efforts. They now become an extension of you out there promoting you. I love that. And then this 7th level marketing idea. I've always believed that open houses are a great way, especially for new agents, to get clients and buyers and to get there early. In your case, you're saying a week early. It starts on Monday before that weekend. Start
Absolutely.
knocking on doors if you even have to meet people, let them know that you're going to be having an open house.
Circle
Are
prospecting,
doing
Eric. Circle
what
prospecting.
circle prospecting.
You're
Cover that for us.
right. So what happens is it's different ways of looking at it. You take your open house and you can market to the up to 100 neighbors to the left, 100 neighbors to the right, 100 neighbors to the front, 100 neighbors to the back. That's 400 people. Do that and see what happens. If nothing else, you're going to generate a groundswell of people saying, this is different. Nobody has ever done this in my community. Now, again, you're establishing somebody in those 400 people, somebody's looking to sell.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Someone's looking to sell and there are renters there. Someone's looking to buy. I mean, you can get it, you can get everything. You're casting the net around an open house, and then they can come and meet you on that day if they are, if there's a sense of urgency around their situation.
Absolutely. And then some people say, well, I don't have the money to do that. Partner with the local lender. Partner with the lender to help you offset your costs and sponsor your open house. There are ways. Let's think of ways to do it, and let's not think of ways not to do it.
Right. Wow, I love that. Now, this open house, this is not doesn't necessarily have to be your open house, your listing, right? There are
No.
more houses for sale right now than there have been in a while, and there's not enough agents. Our agents don't have enough big enough teams to have an open house every weekend.
Well, here's the deal, Eric. The deal is most agents don't want to do an open house. So they're agents who have listings that have no desire to do an open house. Now they have an obligation to their client to sell their house. You're presenting them with an opportunity to bring a potential buyer to their house that would have never been there.
You're absolutely right. And so the opportunity, man, to really own a community, own a neighborhood, right where you live. There are open houses taking place right where you live. And so, I mean, what better way to build your brand and brand awareness around who you are, what you do in your community by hosting an open house for another agent who has that listing. What a great idea. Emerick, man, this has been perhaps the best of the 6-part series we've done so far. We've gotten down to the meat, man, to the bone, if you will, of the business and what you need to do, how you need to show up every day, and that you got to go get it, right? You got to be the lead dog, right? You got to want it, and in order to succeed. Final thoughts as we wrap up part 6 of the business planning for real estate agents 2023.
Well, the biggest thing, Eric, is the prospecting based marketing enhanced. We have to get those 2 hours of lead generation in every day consistently. And then we form marketing ideas and activities around our lead generation so that after we've called these people, we've sent them a piece of marketing material to follow up. And then once they get the marketing material, we follow back up with another phone call. The other thing is 201 people in your database. Communicate with those people on a regular, consistent basis. Bottom line is bare minimum $120,000 of income. Now, let's put it this way. If you have not been communicating with those 201 people in your database already, and you're already making $100,000, you can add another $100,000 because now you're doing a specific activity that you've never done before. So what's the excuse? Have money, have no money. Have money, have no money. Let's go pick up the phone. Let's go make some money, Eric.
Have money, have no money. Have money, have no money. Have deals, have no deals. Have deals, have no deals. Man, oh man, did Emerick Peace not drop the mic, folks. This was the best of the 6-part series, and part 7 is coming soon right here on The Power Is Now. Thank you, Emerick Peace. Thank you for watching. If you are looking for support, please reach out to us. We will help you here at The Power Is Now. Build your brand and your business to be the leader that you see yourself in your community and even in the world. If you're in Prince George County, Maryland, and you don't know Emerick Peace, well, now you do. Reach out to him. He is 600 strong, going to 700. He wants to dominate the world, and he has the tools and the resources to help you do it. Emerick Peace, he has his own show on our network called My Phenomenal World. Emerick Peace, watch his show, as well as this series of interviews with him about business planning for 2023. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in being a VIP agent on Thepowerisnow, like Emerick Peace is, go to thepowerisnow.com, click on the menu bar, you'll see VIP agent webinar or become a VIP agent. All the details are there. And of course, you can reach out to me as well. We are at our best, folks, and we maximize our success when we act now. The power is now. Pick up the phone.
Want to keep up with the current developments happening in the world of real estate? The Real Estate Roundtable, hosted by Eric L. Frazier, is a show you do not want to miss. The show features a panel of VIP agents who are passionate about helping people. It is what they do best. They discuss today's hot topics, latest market updates and trends. The panel also conducts interviews with prominent figures in the industry. New episode every Friday live on Facebook and replay on the Thepowerisnow YouTube channel.